Wiggle, wiggle.
Like.
All right, the Muffin here. Tips and tricks for the Sheridan, a subscriber request. I already had one, but I understand there was a nerf that happened with it. Doesn't change the play style a whole lot, but I did want to throw another one out there because I have changed it. I do have a tips and tricks playlist. I don't know why I have a hard time saying that. If you're looking for up with a tank, shoot over there. So just going straight into the Sheridan. The Sheridan is a light tank. You need to be putting yourself in a position right off the bat of putting yourself in a place to spot. Here, I'm not only trying to do that in kind of a noobish way because I kind of ramp a little bit and then I get stuck. I was kind of more hoping to slide up, but I'm getting myself in a very advantageous position where I can put their lights in a very, very bad spot. Now, I do look up at the lineup as well before racing to a position, because if they would have had no lights, the thing about the reason why I didn't go far over to where those lights were is because they have that AMX there, and if he's a good player, that AMX is one of my favorite tanks and has a very strong turret. And I didn't want to be putting myself in a position against a turret that's really good versus the Sheridan that has a lot less armor. So I like this position a little bit more effective. Our team's kind of scattered about, which is really good. We're getting them from all angles, and I wanted to get another angle on the enemy. So this also goes into understanding the map, knowing different positions. Looking at the lineup of what you have and what your enemy has, understanding those different spots you can go to, and then going to those spots right at the beginning of the game as fast as you can. That first minute that you do with a light tank is very critical. So here, I'm able just to pop out, take those shots. I'm using the landscape for my protection. The thing about a light tank is you can't rely on your armor a whole lot. You don't really have any. So a lot of what I'm doing is I'm trying to pay attention to my surroundings, reload with the cover in the landscape. Now, I thought for some reason that the E4 was positioned completely differently. I thought he went behind the tank and I was trying to take a shot at the E75. So it was kind of a mistake on my end. These two replays, I make little pop out mistakes, and you'll kind of see why, and I'll talk about those. So here going into another replay is, once again, I'm trying to get to a position as fast as I can where I can spot effectively. So I'm getting up behind this bush to increase my camo efficiency. And typically if enemies are going to cross over on this side, I'm going to be able to get a good view, and I might be able to get a good snapshot over here on them. So I'm just keeping my eyes open. I'm paying attention to where my team is. I'm now looking like, okay, they're most likely in the town. So I'm now trying to move around, stay low, and I want to get into other positions to get eyes and continually spot them. And as I spot them, it helps me make decisions on what to do next. So I'm going up behind this bush, but I'm being very aware because on the right-hand side, there is a sniping spot, but you see that rock? That rock is providing me a little bit of cover if there was a sniper in that spot. So I'm now looking for tanks that are isolated. So this Super Conqueror is isolated from the team, and he doesn't have a lot of cover. And that's like one of the things you have to pay attention to as a Sheridan, a light tank, is as you move in your mobile around the map, you have to pay attention all the time to where your team is, where the enemies are. And if you see those isolated targets by themselves, little segmented away from the group, kind of alone, that's really the time to dive in and be able to take that advantage. So here, I'm now kind of being cautious. I'm looking for either other isolated targets, other targets to shoot, and to save capacity, I'm using the landscape. So we didn't detect anything over here, and this grill is a bit exposed, which is perfect, not paying attention. And you'll notice is just before I come up over a ridge line, I'll shoot back in my third-person view to try to see where an enemy is facing, because if that grill would have been facing direct now, I thought that FV was facing the other way. And when I popped out, I just tried taking a shot. I know the FV has really bad accuracy, so I was hoping he would have just missed by the time I got the shot out. But little tips like that. So use your third person view a lot. Kind of swing around before you expose yourself. And if they're pointing right at you, then go another way. Look for another route. Don't just pop out in front of them. So here we're just kind of wrapping up and just finishing the game. Do some noob driving a little bit with crashing. But this is really, the thing about the Sheridan is you don't even really need to use missiles to be good with this tank. As a matter of fact, I very rarely, if at all, use the missiles, and I think that's what people try to do, because the thing about the missiles is they take a longer amount of time to get to your target, which decreases your DPM quite a bit because you won't reload until your missile explodes. So if you're looking for tips specifically on how to use missiles, I did already make a video on this. I'll put a link in the comments below. I use iPad and iPhone, so if you use a different device, I don't know if that missile trick will work. But anyway, this is the Muffin here. You guys stay cool and keep tanking.